Good evening, Facebook. How are you doing? Welcome to this episode of Divine Connection. If you're just seeing this pop up on your Facebook Live, go ahead and make sure to share this out. Get everybody you know on here. We have an amazing guest this afternoon, or actually this evening in the USA. I've been doing so many presentations. I'm used to saying good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. So welcome. Go ahead and share this out while we're coming in. Come on into this amazing Divine Connection where we are here to empower, to inspire, and to motivate you today with our special guest. And so, guys, let me just for a little background. I started Divine Connection probably about 2-3 months ago. God gave me this to just help connect people, to share people's stories. He said to me, right? He said, I'm going to use your story for his glory. And I just believe that was for everybody, right? Because there's so many people out there that, could be hurting or they're going through situations. And sometimes you just think you're out there alone, right? But when we get other people and we hear their stories and you're like, and you can relate to that, it's amazing. So welcome, welcome. It's about 1 minute after. Let me introduce my beautiful guest. I'm so excited that I met this lovely lady a few weeks ago, and we've just been talking and connecting. And so let me just introduce you to Laura Smith. Now, Laura is the title of this is called The Fairy Godmother, and she's going to tell us why it's called that later, right? But Laura is a coach. She's a marketing consultant. She's had 25 years in the industry. Hold on 1 second. Let me pull up something else that I have for her. She has been a traditional business owner for 25 years, direct marketing sales for over 25 years as well. She's currently the top earner in her current company, and her goal is to help her partners to crack the 2% in the industry. And her mantra is no one left behind. On top of that, she's a salon owner. So that's why she looks so beautiful, right? Her hair, look at that. It's gorgeous, right? She's an elite East Coast six-figure earner, and she's a volunteer. So Laura, welcome to my show, Divine Connection. I'm excited to have you today.
I'm so excited to be here. It's really fun when God moves new people into your life, so that you have new friends.
Yes, it is. And we were talking and she was sharing her story with me. Now, she's a seven-figure earner, you guys. She's beautiful, she's successful. She was telling me all about it. But Laura, share with some of them. Okay, this is what I'd like to know. Everybody wasn't instantly a seven-figure earner. What did you have to do to get to where you are today? I mean, did you have any struggles, or what motivated you to be where you are today? Because you're very successful. You have huge teams, you have multiple businesses. So tell those other the ladies or the gentlemen that might be listening today.
Well, thank you for having me on tonight. I'm super excited. And I was talking to you earlier. We were talking about how I had a pretty great childhood and growing up through my, high school years, and was blessed to go to college. But as we all know, entering that workplace was really a challenge. I graduated college a long time ago in 1985. So, we were back then, just getting a job was a big deal. It was very scary. So I went to college. I have an education degree. So, I thought I'd go straight into the education field, but I ended up doing a lot of retail and working in the hospitality industry. So through that, I met my son's father, and I was married, and he's a nice guy, just not a great husband. And we have my son Lane. He is going to be 30 next month, and I found myself as a single mom. And I was 20, my late 20s, and just trying to make sure I had enough money to take care of him. And I went back into the teaching field, where I realized I was very, very poor. The most important job out there, and one of the least, economically, paid at a high level. So I was always working 2 or 3 jobs, always, because I always felt like if I could, I'd rather have the stress of a lot of jobs than have the stress of not having enough money and not having a new car. I always wanted to have a newer car, a newer vehicle, so I knew I could get to all my jobs and get Lane where he needed to go. So I always, taught school, and I always worked in the hospitality industry. So that was very challenging. I was tired a lot, but I was really blessed to have a lot of, make a lot of relationships and a lot of good friends along the way. So I have a lot of interesting stories. I've worked in some places that were a little, no one would think that the fairy godmother had been shot at or, robbed or any of the things that had happened to me during those late nights when I would be, hoping people would leave so I could go home and go to bed so I could get up and teach school the next day. So
Wow.
I was always open I always knew you have to do something that people will pay for, a service that they will pay for, because I knew a job with a limited hourly pay or a limited salary was not going to work for me, because number one, I couldn't stand people that did the minimum. And it seemed like I was always overdoing my job and dragging people with me. So I knew that I had to find something that would provide me with the ability to be compensated for my hard work. So I went back to a school, and I went at night, and I went to beauty school so that, I knew that one day, hopefully I would be able to evolve into that, type of business and have my own business. And that's kind of how it worked out for me. But along the way, I found network marketing, which really opened a lot of doors for me.
Yeah, it's amazing because I can totally relate to that. I've been doing graphic design for 20 years, and I was working for somebody, doing the graphics, getting paid a 9 to 5. And until I actually stepped out in faith and said, no more, I'm going to start my own. So I didn't even start doing freelancing until 2015. And it's first of all, it's scary because you're not having that paycheck to paycheck anymore. And you're like, okay, I'm going to go into this, network marketing, or I'm going to go into my own business. And you don't have that to rely on. You're relying on your work, your ethics, and, communicating with people to have a traditional business. I mean, you've been doing a traditional business for 25 years now. I've been doing it now for, I do have another business though, that my husband has for 17 years. And it's scary when you leave out of that workplace, right? Now, how did you get the title Fairy Godmother?
Well, I'm very blessed to work with an organization called I Serve with Joy. And as a young lady here in Charleston, I'm from Charleston, South Carolina, and her name is Joy Campbell. So I serve with joy. Sometimes I say I don't serve real joy, like with a lot of joy, because we do a lot of crazy things. But I'm like, what? Like my husband's walking around here. If you hear him, he's always like, what does she have us doing now? And but our main purpose is to serve the homeless teens in our area, which people don't understand what homeless means to a teenager. A homeless teen would be someone that stays with grandmama, stays with auntie, stays in a hotel, stays in a shelter, kind of couch surfing with no stable permanent home. And we just take for granted that, they feel secure. So that's our main focus before the pandemic, was just on our homeless teens. We work together. They call me the fairy godmother because we work predominantly with the one school here in Charleston. And we teach the girls all the skills that I wish I had. I mean, I have to say, my mom was a motivational counselor. So I got a lot of the vision board and the goal setting, early in life. But we take for granted that these young people today even have that. I mean, they don't even have a place to live, much less someone that's going, let's get out and make a vision board. They don't even know they can dream. So we put on seminars. We just counsel them. We hang out with them. We put on a prom every year for them, and they have to work. The school we work with is like a last chance school, and this is it. So there is very strict. It's totally in lockdown all the time, and they have to earn their way to the prom. So it's super exciting to.
So
they have to do everything right, or they can't go. And they're very strict. So we have the girls. We have Queen for a Day, and so we outfit them head to toe with all their prom attire.
That's amazing.
Yes, it's so much fun. I love it. And so all year long we gather stuff, and I'm very blessed being in the pageant industry and a pageant coach for the last 15 years, that I have all my pageant friends who donate. So these girls get the best dresses. And
were you in the pageant?
you know how I got in the pageant industry? I grew up, I was a gymnast, believe it or not, as tall and as I am. So I never really was in that world, the cheerleading pageant world. I was always competing. And when I was when I was 40, my best friend, she's a super pageant-y girl, and she was like, come on and do this Mrs. Pageant. And I'm like, really? They have this kind of stuff? And so I got involved with it, and I win, and I've won several. And I was realizing my son was going to be going to college, and what was I going to do? So I ended up being partners with two other people here in Charleston. We owned 3 preliminaries for the Miss America pageant. So that's how I got involved with that. And being a teacher, I love the Miss America system because it's very scholarship oriented. All you win is scholarship money, and nobody really knows that. And the essays and the interview is a majority of their presentation. So that's how I got in pageant world. So so I have a lot of people that give me a lot of great stuff for my girls. But also with the boys, they have Prince Charming Day, and we find a sponsor for each of them for their tuxedo, and we have pictures. My favorite prom memory is, I mean, it's catered, it is fancy. I mean, it's not like a prom I ever went to. And we had when there are local car dealerships, always brings a luxury car for the kids to take pictures with, because we want them to dream big. We want them to have goals and ideas of it's possible. You can touch this. You can sit in this car. And so my favorite memory is, because I've never sat in one, they brought the Rolls Royce with the ceilings all twinkly lights.
Wow.
You would love it. You would love it.
Yeah,
and,
I would. Girl, like 100%. So I would totally love it. Anything bling.
I know. And I was like, so they got to take the pictures with it. And another kind of cute, quick story I want to tell y'all, just because I want to tell you a little bit about Joy Campbell. She's a young lady from humble means, and we don't like to give our kids, like, the pageant dresses, of course, they're like they've been worn once. But most of the time when we do anything else for our teens, we like to buy brand new. Like we also have a Christmas party we do for the homeless kids that are at another local high school. And we provide them with coats every year and lots of other stuff. But we only give them brand new coats, because Joy remembers the first time she ever took the tag off of something brand new. Aww. Something we take so for granted. Like, we're irritated. We got to find the scissors and cut something off. And so,
you're right.
And she says she can remember the first time she ever got something brand new and she got to rip the tag off. And that we always want our kids to have that feeling.
Right, to have something nice. That's amazing. This is an amazing ministry. So you're helping, not only are you helping the youth that are homeless, teens, but you're showing them that there's another side to, like, what life can be like. They're getting these nice tuxes and these gowns from the pageantry and new stuff. And so that's a really amazing ministry. So if somebody, what was the name of it again? Just so the viewers could hear it again.
Her website is iservewithjoy.org.
I'm going to put that in the comments. It's iservewithjoy.org.
Yes. She has a beautiful website. She is like the most well-connected person. She's adorable. When y'all go look at the website, you're going to go, oh my gosh, no wonder this is, Laura's friend, because we have the support of our state senator, who is Tim Scott, every local congressman. They'll sponsor one of our boys, because we really have an easy time with the girls. The guys, it is pricey for those tuxedos, and we have a sponsor, but we still got to pay. And they're so cute about getting everything back, and you would never know they were kids that had trouble. They just are amazing.
So if somebody was in South Carolina, South Charleston, you said?
I live in South Carolina, Charleston, South Carolina.
So if somebody was in the area, you guys, if you guys are listening and you're in the area and you're hearing what she's talking about, this ministry that's helping teens that are homeless, and you want to reach out, make sure to connect with Laura.
Volunteer.
Yeah,
We can put you to work.
right, no doubt. Volunteer. Hopefully, I typed the website in. I put it in the comments to iservedwithjoy.org, because you guys, you can be touching the heart of a young teen, or that is broken, could be broken. They're homeless, they're lost, and here is this ministry that God has put in there for them to do, to help lift them up, to help show them a better road, to help. I like how she said they want to make sure they dream big. They had a Rolls Royce, right? And they got to take pictures, and they're dressed nice, so that they can know that this is not it. This is not it, where you have to be down in the ditches, that where God wants something better for them, right? So that's an amazing ministry. Definitely reach out if you're in that area. Now, can people donate? So like if they're not in the area.
Oh yeah. Yes. There's a button right there. Yes. And we're right now, I mean, we're always doing something. We're like, we've since the pandemic, we've really changed our focus a little bit broader, because there's so many people in need in the rural areas of South Carolina. And we've done food drive. I mean, we've given hundreds of thousands of food, of donated food away. It's just amazing what a community can do when you just have a little bit of positive force going in. I mean, I'm thinking back on all the crazy things my husband has loaded in his truck. I mean, we're just really blessed to, be able to help.
That's amazing. So if you guys are watching this, share this out, or tell somebody, hey, go make a donation on that website, because you can help a teen just to live a better life, help them to support that ministry. So that's an amazing. So Laura, not only that, you're not only a volunteer for that, you have your own beauty salon. And we were talking earlier, and I liked your story about how you said you got started, but not only that, how you helped others to start their own businesses. So talk a little bit about that.
Well, and this has just been my mission, I guess, coming from such a humble place, working all those jobs. I got remarried, and my husband was like, why are you teaching school? That's crazy. This thing starts early, and then you got to go to bed early. You're no fun. So he's like, you've always wanted to own your salon. Why don't we open one? So I had been working in a salon for about 4 years, and I said, because I knew if you want to open something, you need to go build your clientele. And right. And I wanted to have, the experience that I would hopefully be able to help somebody else transition through. So we opened a little salon, and, as God would have it, I go to rent this little place, and I meet the guy that owns it, and it's somebody that I've known all my life and babysat his children.
Divine
okay. And I was there for 7 years, and was a great, we renovate, we do everything on a shoestring, we never take out a loan, we do everything ourselves, all the plumbing. My husband is very handy, and I learned how to do PEX. I mean, I can do it all. I can install a sink, and my goal was, I learned, and because I hated all these girls that would, that they would go to beauty school, they'd go to cosmetology, they'd be estheticians, they'd be massage therapists, and they'd get out of school and they would not go into the industry. And it's, as we've learned in the pandemic, this is an industry that is pandemic proof. Everybody wanted their hair done. Everybody wanted their nails done. Everybody needed their eyebrows waxed. So, I always knew it was an industry that could, sustain itself. And then I would see girls, I would tell them, you're going to have to go somewhere, and you're going to have to work somewhere on commission for 2 years. If you don't build a clientele in 2 years, you probably need to find something else to do. It might not be your knack.
Right there,
so I would try to take people that had been on a commission that wanted to booth rent, because I don't want to be in charge of anybody's taxes, anything. I want you to pay me your rent, and this is your little 25 square feet this is your business.
Right.
You run it how you want to run it, but it's going to be clean, and you're going to do, I don't care if you ever come, but you should come, but you're going to pay your rent. And so my goal was to teach them within 2 to 3 years everything they needed to do to go on their own, because I've learned that most time after 2 years, people get tired of paying you. They think, She don't do that much around here. This ain't that hard. So, I wanted to equip them with enough skills that they could look, watch how we operated, watch how we budgeted. You don't have to go buy the most expensive. No one cares if you're a good stylist, they want it to be clean and neat. It doesn't
Right.
have to be the fanciest lighting. It doesn't have to be I got old school. I mean, my whole place is vintage. Like, I want everybody's old stuff. I want it to be like you roll back to the 50s. It's just
Right.
my style. And, so I wanted to teach them, don't get in debt. Go find a reasonable place to rent. If I had known what I know now, I would have bought a building. If I would have, that's my one regret. I would tell somebody to find an area that's up and coming and buy something, and go start getting other people to pay you rent. And
Right.
I'm going to equip you with the skills to do this. And so I think we've helped 12 people move that in that direction. So I'm pretty proud of that.
That is something to be proud about, because we were talking and I said, most people who start their own businesses aren't going to want to teach other people how to do it, right? Because they might look at them as competition. So the fact that you've done that and you really have a heart to help the people, and you have blessed 12 other individuals to have their own business, that's amazing. So, I mean, props to you. Yay.
Well, thank you. And my husband, I have to give Daniel credit. He's like he does everything. He's like my God. He's like, oh my gosh, what are we doing now? We're remodeling again.
That's awesome that he supports you. So that's amazing. So, okay, Laura, you are a successful seven-figure earner. For those out there listening in the network marketing world or MLM world, they might be asking this question: how do you do it? Because we see so many networkers that they get into this because they want to get out of that struggle of the 9 to 5 job. They want to have a better life. They want to have that time freedom. Maybe they want to travel the world, but they've struggled. They're like, how do I do it? What would you recommend, or what do you say to them, how to get from that struggling network marketer to become successful? I mean, what does it take? We might not even be able to do all that in one this episode. It's so much information.
Well, I'd say number one is you have to give yourself time. You have to think about it as just like you're earning a college degree. You have to realize you didn't just go into your job and become the boss.
Right.
You're going to have to learn, and you need to align yourself in your heart with people that are on the same mission as you. And you got to realize it doesn't matter what you're like. You need to have a quality product, but you have to use it. If it's a shake or jewelry, like, I like a lot of jewelry. There's so many wonderful companies that look for something that's had longevity. Like, I like a company that's just launching. I'll be the first to say I love a new opportunity, but that's you got some ups and downs with that. You got to be like ready to hang on.
Right.
My first company I ever worked with was Party Light. And it's a candle company. It's before like there was like stores everywhere. And like it was a big thing. And I love their products. I still buy their products. They're great quality candles. And you just gotta pick something you like, and you have to, if I was going back and telling myself how to do this, you need to look at the compensation plans. You might love something, and guess what? You might be better off as a customer. Because if it's not going to pay you the money that you think that you want to put the effort into, then you need to move along and really interview who will be the person you join. We all, your cousin, your aunt, if I joined my aunt, that'd be amazing because she's a top earner in a wellness company. But not everybody, has that. Sometimes you might think, oh, I'm going to join my best friend. And if you would have really known, you might have looked a little deeper to find somebody that might have had a little more experience that could help guide you better. Because it is a business.
Right.
And that's number one. You have to realize if it's just gonna be fun and you're gonna sell, I don't know, makeup, and if you're gonna do it with your girlfriends, then cool, just join your best friend. But if you are serious about making an income, you need to research. You need to find. I look for who I'm gonna join. I mean, people have been mad at me because they'll go, well, you didn't join me. And I'm like going, no, I didn't. Like, you have to be, this is a business decision. I'm looking for a business partner, and I need someone that is more knowledgeable than me because, as John Maxwell will say, it's the law of the lid. You will only rise to the level of of your leadership level. And if you don't have somebody raising that, then you can't move forward. So you're going to, really, really interview who you might want to work with. See their style. Look at their track record. See where they've been. If they've been in 14 companies in the last 10 years, that's probably not a good person. If there's somebody that's been, with, has a decent amount of time, and then moved on, that's good. We're all gonna, I think the average person changes jobs in the United States now every 3 to 4 years, which that used to not be, a statistic at all. So, make sure you're picking a good leader, make sure you're picking a product that you can stand behind, and just don't quit. You don't quit and seek personal development. You're going to have to, I mean, when I started this 25 years ago, there wasn't any internet, y'all. So, I've had to learn how to be an online marketer. And so you have to think, I sell online marketing tools. There wasn't even an internet when I started this. So you've got to up your game. You've got to invest in training, invest in personal development, read a lot of books. Instead of, like you hear it and it sounds corny, your car is your rolling university. You spend a lot of time in it. You don't have to listen to the radio with all those ads for the car dealerships. You can be listening to something motivational. You got your phone, you got Spotify, you can listen to podcasts. Just fill your head and your heart with positivity, because it's not an easy road. But if you don't quit and you surround yourselves with the right people, you can win.
That's really good, because so I wrote something. You got to be passionate about the product. That's something I stick with. I mean, a lot of you who know me, I come from a health and wellness industry, and it's really hard for me to lie about a product that I don't like, right? So it's like, if I'm going to taste something and be like, oh, this tastes good, and it really doesn't, then I know when I sell it to somebody else, they're going to tell me the same thing. So that's really good. Be passionate. Find something that you like she said, interview. That's a good one. How many of you, and I know there's a lot, got that, what they call shiny syndrome, right? Shiny object syndrome. We see something, oh my gosh, I'm going to jump over here, and I'm going to jump over here, and I'm going to do this and do that. And then you don't make it because you only gave it a month or two, right? And then you're like, well, that didn't work. Well, did it not work, or was it something that you didn't work because you didn't even give it enough dedication, enough time? And then I like what you said, interview. Now, it's so funny. I mean, network marketers can be so funny, right? They can be so fickle. I remember this one opportunity I was going to join, and I didn't join this one guy because I didn't know him, but he was a client of mine as a graphic designer, and I didn't know his backstory or nothing. And because I joined this one opportunity with somebody else that I knew who they were, I knew what kind of leader they were, I knew what they brought to the table, he got all mad at me and started begging. I was like, wow. So
thank God I didn't join you.
Right, thank God. That's the first thing I told my girlfriend. I said, thank God I didn't join that guy. I said, because, oh my God, if you're getting mad because I didn't join you. And like she said, it's a business decision. You have to go into a company and partner with the person what fits you. You're not going to make a business decision off of, oh, well, my friend's going to be hurt, or so-and-so is going to be mad, right? Because it's a business decision. And so do your research, like she said. I mean, Laura's a successful 7-figure marketer. So, I mean, when I met her, I'm like, Laura, tell me, how'd you do this? I'm in her inbox. She'll tell you. Can you send me?
I'll tell you how I did it. Yeah. And just like Ann and I, right now, as we're moving through a new opportunity and we're sharing, what do we do every day? We attend, well, fortunately for me, I attend the webinars that you're doing, but you have to be present. You have to, you have to know that you have to be ready at a moment's notice. I learned this from my friend Cedric Harris. If they called me and said, hey, Ann's got strep throat, she can't talk, you got to be ready to go. You got to be ready to jump in her shoes, because your opportunity will only come once, and you better be ready. because they won't ask you a second time if you chicken out.
Right.
So do it scared. It doesn't matter. Just do it.
Do it afraid. I like that.
Yeah.
Joyce Meyer said that one time. Do it afraid. If you're going to do it afraid. As long as you do it, right? Because I know some people could be, I love being on Facebook Live. I love talking. Me and Laura were talking for a long time, and we're like, oh, we got to get on a call. And we're present. We make sure we're there. I mean, you need to be seen. We live in the age of digital network marketing. Right? Like she said, back then in the 80s, or, we didn't have internet. We had these big old bulky cell phones, and it was like,
we didn't
now
have cell phones, girl. You had to take all your stuff to somebody's house and have a party, or invite them to your house and clean your house and give them something to eat. And it was like, and then you make $50 and you've already spent $25 on refreshments.
right.
And you're like, I didn't make anything.
Because home parties were the way, right? I remember when I was growing up, what everyday doorbell knocking, right? You want to buy this, salesman, and that's how it was back then. Yeah. But I remember the first cell phone I had, and there were these big old cell phones, and even telling our children now, like my 13-year-old, I'm like, well, we didn't have that internet back then like you have it today. I mean, you guys, everything is at your fingertips, everything. Like she said, listen to the podcast, listen to the motivational teachings. I mean, there's even audio books, right? If you don't have time to read or you hate reading, listen to it. I mean, it's crazy how everything is at your fingertips, right? It's just amazing.
And I would say that my favorite book that I would say really transformed my earning about 4 years ago was The 5-Second Rule by Mel Robbins, because we can make excuses after excuses after excuses after excuses. But if you just go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and get your behind up and go do what you're supposed to do, go make those, go. I mean, like it's so easy now. Like you just send some text. You don't have to even pick up a phone. Whatever it is, you just, and she has an amazing daily planner that I've been using and for 4 years. And I'm not a list maker. I'm not a scheduled person. I'm like fly by night crazy Gemini. But let me tell you, when I got focused and I used that planner and I wrote down, it's one of the things on it is what is the most important thing you have to get done today, and just prioritize your day and see, and you'll see where you're best. One of at the top it says, how you feel from it's like a speedometer from low energy to high energy. And then why do you feel this way? So you can assess where you are that day to make your schedule fit with your energy level. And what can you do to make your day go better if you're at a low energy level? What can you do to change that energy level? So just easy stuff. I mean, this is all free stuff. She does, lots of great free trainings every year. And I'm always on them because, hey, number one, I like free. And any kind of tool she's the number one, speaking engagement female personality in the world. So why wouldn't you listen to her?
Right. So what I did is, while she was talking real quick, I just went to Amazon, found that link. You guys can go to Amazon and click on it right there, and you can either buy the book or the audio and find the 5-Second Rule by Mel. What's her name?
Mel Robbins.
Mel Robbins.
She's so funny. She's so funny. She might say a bad word or two, so don't get scared. But you'll learn to love her. I just saw her Instagram, and she's got a new logo, and it says "What the Mel." I thought that was cute.
Wow, that's amazing. So now let me ask you this, Laura. You had also told me that you have your business, traditional business. But you're also a marketing consultant and a coach. So what does that consist of? To many of the people who might be watching, or this might get shared out, or they might watch the replay later, what services do you offer so that they can reach out to you? So what is your coaching and what is your marketing consultant?
Well, mostly I coach pageant girls. I coach interview. So I'm an interview coach. But on the marketing side, I was telling you earlier, I was probably thrown into that because I joined a company where we sell marketing tools. And I wouldn't say I'm a genius at it. I'm a better salesperson probably than I am a marketer, but I really had to apply myself to learning, a lot about how people view marketing. I might not. I'm no Ann on creating it there that way. But I am good at telling you, what should be placed where on a website, what is going to get the attention, how far to scroll down, that kind of stuff. I'm good at because that's I guess that's just my niche. So I've been selling marketing tools, like I told Ann earlier. I got into it because I needed some marketing tools for my salon, and I needed to figure it out, and I had no idea it would take me to making the most money I've ever made in network marketing, which we're just an affiliate program because we are only 2 levels. So you got to be a recruiter. You got to go out there and you have to actually have a love for people, and you have to build a strong team, because 2 levels is not very big levels to earn 6 figures on. So I've been very blessed to have a product that people don't quit.
I'm looking forward to checking that out, definitely. And I'm looking forward for us to working on it, because you guys, like she said, we met on a new project, and it's a crypto project that just launched last week called Twin Turbo TRX, and that's how we actually met. And we were talking this morning about websites, and she was showing me stuff. And so it's like I can already just vision her and I working together, putting it together, like the graphics, and she knows the layout. So this is going to be amazing. I'm just so excited about
it. It's fun. I was like, okay, this is her. Like, my talent is definitely not making stuff. My talent, I'm great at thinking of ideas. And that's really how I got into the pageant coaching, because each girl has to have a platform. Like I Serve with Joy, they have to develop their own volunteer platform. So I was just really good at thinking up good ideas. And so that's the part I like. I'm just the ideas person. Like one of my young ladies, she was looking for something, and she found out there was a need in South Carolina, because foster children don't always get a birthday present if they're in the children's home. So she started a foundation, and it's called the Birthday Box. And so she makes sure that every child in the foster care system at the state home has a gift for their birthday. So that's the kind of stuff I like.
No, yeah, that's awesome. I mean, helping any way you can. You guys, she had, if you guys would just join us, she had this amazing ministry. We posted a website earlier in the comments. You guys can go and donate to this. These are homeless teens that they help to show them a better life, to help, motivate them, because they're homeless. And now she's got this other one. I don't know if you have any information on that, how they can donate to that.
I can find Madison's link for that too. Yeah. And so that's the part about marketing. I just like the fun idea. I like to think of names, and like just with our new adventure. My partner and I, we were looking for something to be geared toward moms and women entering the crypto space, because that's empowering. Like we've been working with about 300 women over the last 6 months, and it's awesome to hear them, just because they didn't know what they were learning. Because we would go, oh, just do this, just do this, just do this. And now 3 months later, they're teaching other people how to get their wallet, how to do this, how to purchase some Bitcoin. So it's empowering for women to learn these skills, because, well, most people in the world don't know. I mean, my friend Andrea just posted about Bitcoin. It was out of 100%. Who would want to learn more about Bitcoin? I think only 14% said yes out of 100. So like we're a novelty. And I just think that we have a lot that can empower women to, have maybe a new way to control their finances, or make some extra money, or just, I mean, I know I was telling you about, you can buy Bitcoin on PayPal, and I just wanted to check the system. And I looked after I talked to you, and I bought $20, and now it was just like a month and a half ago, and it's worth $86 today.
But wait, you bought it on PayPal? Because remember we were talking, I couldn't.
And I just let it sit there. I didn't do anything with it, because I was like, I'm just going to let this $20 of Bitcoin sit there, and it's worth $86 today.
Wow. But okay, wait, did you buy it on PayPal though?
Yeah, I bought it on PayPal.
How did you remember we were talking, you guys, I just live in video. We were talking earlier, and we were talking about how when PayPal announced that they were going to start accepting Bitcoin, right? But I was having, I can't find it on my app, or I can't find it when I log into my website.
I think I did it on my desktop. Maybe it's bigger. Y'all know I'm blind. Like if I ever text you, if it's misspelled, just know I'm smart. I just can't see. Um,
She's so cute. You
but I
guys,
mean, isn't that amazing? Like,
yeah,
and just because just watching that will is an education. And
right.
because people think they have to have, they don't know how to do anything about the stock market. They don't know how to get an E-Trade account. They're nervous. But if they get $20 worth of Bitcoin and just watch it, then it gets them into the process of, oh, hey, that is cool.
Right.
Man, it's worth over four times as much as what I paid for it a month and a half ago. That's crazy.
That's awesome. So look at you guys. I know you can also buy Bitcoin on Cash App, and I don't know how we're getting to this, but because we're talking about the crypto space, if you guys haven't realized, cryptocurrencies are like going to be the new currency, the new wave, the new digital way to go, right? And so the new platform where we're part of, Twin Turbo TRX, we're going to start educating people on that. But just as she said, I didn't have very much Bitcoin either. In about, I'm going to say a month and a half ago, somebody had to pay me for a job, right? And so they paid me in Bitcoin because in Bitcoin they couldn't, I don't know, so they were out of state, or they couldn't Zelle me, or I can't remember what. So they gave me, I think it was like $1,100, right? And I said, okay, go ahead and send me to Bitcoin. But now I said I was going to transfer it out, but I said, no, let it just sit. Let me just let it sit there. And now it's at $1,900. And that was just like 2 months ago, not even like a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
So it's crazy because Bitcoin is at almost like at 58,000 right now.
Yeah.
And it has grown tremendously. So if you guys are interested in learning more about cryptocurrencies,
We're going to start. Yeah, we'll be having our next week. Hopefully, we'll get to launch, and I know Ann will be involved with it. Our crypto and coffee, and so we'll just be chatting about crypto and getting people started. And I'm super excited about it.
And do you have a group for ladies to join that?
I've just launched it. I'm just getting all the stuff put in there. We're migrating some from some other groups we have because
Okay.
we've done a lot of work over the last 6 months, and I'm excited about it because there's lots of opportunities out there, or there's just ways to learn about it, or there's ways to hold coins. So there's no pressure to be involved in anything. We just want to, just like I've done with my salon, I want to take people to the next level with their finances and help them. Look at you. You just doubled your money. You didn't have to do 2 jobs. Just by hanging on to that money, you've almost doubled it.
Almost.
That's amazing.
Right. So she's going to start, I think next week, like she said, she's going to start a crypto and coffee, or is it coffee and crypto?
Either way. Hey, you hadn't made the graphics yet.
Right. When we come up with graphics, we will share it out to you guys. So stay tuned for that, you guys. That's coming for an education. We were talking, she's going to have a group, especially just to help mothers and especially home mom. Especially when wives, they stay at home and we take care of the children, we take care of our husbands, and we work on top of that. Or even you have that wife who is they devoted their whole life to their husband and children, or maybe they're going through a divorce and they never worked at all in their life. There's just so many different scenarios, right? Well, you can get the educational, it's available, right? And so Laura's going to have a group for moms for coffee or crypto coffee, however we decide to make it up. And then you guys can join that, be a part of that, get the educational skills, learn from a 7-figure earner, right? Who's already made it, has been successful, and she knows the do's and don'ts, right? Like she said, if I could go back and what I've learned now, it's much easier. So once you make it, she's helping people, and she's helped 12 successful women start their own salons. She's a coaching for pageants. She does ministry. It's amazing, you guys. So if you want to connect with Laura, that's what this show is all about. It's about connecting people to whoever needs to be connected to them. If there's something that she has to offer or something that somebody else needs, this is what this show is about. So I'm excited that she's been my special guest today. Do you have anything else, Laura, that you want to share with anybody of the ladies or gentlemen? Look at this.
Just keep an eye out, y'all, and friend me so we can be friends, and so you can know what's going on. I'm Laura Smith. If you probably put Laura Smith, Charleston, South Carolina, I'll probably pop up. There's a lot of Laura Smiths in the world, but I look at another thing about our crypto women's group. I think it's going to be cool to have some, in this year of isolation, I
Mm,
think we've all like lost friendships, we've so it's fun to connect with people around around the world.
right.
And so, I hope that we can offer some companionship and some friendship also.
That's awesome. And that's so true, you guys, because it's like we feel like a little disconnect. We don't get to go out as much. There's a lot of fear in the world right now because of the COVID, the pandemic issues. There's a lot of depression, but you can still connect online. You can still make new friends. Just like Laura and I, we've talked on the phone and we were talking and talking and talking and we were just connecting. And so it's nice to meet new friends. And I've known through network marketing myself, I've met amazing people. One of my best friends who's watching, I met her through a health and wellness company like 6, 7 years ago, and we've actually met. She lives in Louisiana, and I'm here in California. So you get to meet different people,
Yeah.
and it's fun and it's amazing, right? So network marketing can be so much fun. The internet can be fun. I mean, meeting new people all around the world, and so it's just exciting, So, anyways, I really hope that this episode of Divine Connection helps somebody out there, or you got some tips on how to be successful, seven-figure earner, what you can learn, how to connect with Laura. And I want to thank this beautiful young lady for coming on my show. And actually coming on last minute. I had a cancellation for somebody who had a death in the family. She came on. She was ready. Like she
Oh
said,
yeah, I was excited.
she
I
was
had an excuse to get dressed.
I love it. She's always supporting. So thank you, Lori, for being my special guest. Thank you
Thank
all for
you.
listening, for watching our show. We will drop some more when she comes up the group. I will share that on my timeline with the flyer and the group to join, so you can get some more successful tips and golden nuggets from Laura Smith. All right, thank you guys for joining us this evening. You guys have a great rest of your Thursday evening. God bless. Bye-bye.